Let's wait for 1 more minute and then let's get started. Okay, let's get started. Thanks everyone for joining today's session. So today and tomorrow we are going to focus on how to pass these business analyst certifications, right? So the curriculum for these 2 days courses, like what are the different types of business analyst certifications available in the market, and then what are the prerequisites for these exams, what is application fee and exam fee for these certifications, and how to pass these exams, right? What are the how to prepare for these exams and how to pass these exams, and finally, like whether it's worth to do these certifications. So first topic, we are going to learn about what are the different types of business analyst certifications. So you all know that the leading provider for all the certifications currently is IIBA. So it is International Institute of Business Analysis. So it's a private organization operating from Canada. Okay, so don't think it's something like from US. It's from Canada actually. So if you see, right, they're from Ontario, Canada. So it's a private organization. But what they do is like they have like certain certifications that they provide, which in the industry is considered as like a standard, right, for business analysis. So, for example, they have about three important certifications for BAs. One is like IIBA. So let me take, I'm sorry. One is ECBA. So first is ECBA, then CCBA, and then third one is CBAP. So ECBA is called Entry Certificate in Business Analysis. This is like stage 1. Okay. And then CCBA is called Certification of Capability in Business Analysis. This is stage 2. And then CBAP is the final stage. Okay. For ECBA, right, there is no prerequisite. Anybody can take ECBA certificate, exam, and get certified, because this is like very easy for, if you see the exam pattern, it's just 50 questions, 50 multiple choice questions. It's based upon the Babcock book. So this IIBA, they have like one book. That book is called Babcock. Okay. So what mostly the questions will come from that book only. So, and it is like multiple choice, 50 questions, and exam time is 1 hour. So how you're going to prepare for these examples? Like they've given like sample questions. If you see why it is important for a business analyst professional to know the role of a stakeholder, and then what is like one reason assumption are identified. Like this very single line, and then there are just 4 choices. You have to click one, and mostly everything is going to come from Babcock. So the knowledge area is like there are 4 different knowledge areas. So this Babcock, right? I have done like 10 videos on Babcock. So I will link all the videos in this. Once I upload this video, right? I will link all the 10 videos. I have done a complete end-to-end, line by line video for Babcock. How to learn that material and how to understand the material and everything. So there are like 4 different chapters that you have to be very familiar. The most important one is elucidation and requirements lifecycle management, and also the requirement analysis. Planning and monitoring is just only 5%, and other questions will be from these 3 knowledge areas. So you need not have anything like extra. What you have to do is, like, if you think like you are a beginner and you don't know anything about business analysis, you don't have any experience, and like you want to take some kind of professional certification so that you can add value to your resume. Because if you are basically from non-IT, and let's say you are from something like biotechnology, okay, bachelor's in biotechnology engineering, something like that, and when the interviewer sees your resume, right, you say that, yeah, I want to become a business analyst, and I want to learn this, that. You give so much. See, they don't take you seriously, because they know you've done, you're not a computer science graduate, you're getting into IT, and you don't have any real life experience also. So in that case, they'll be like, okay, how are you going to like add weightage to your resume? Something that has to say that you're curious, or you have a lot of interest in business analysis, right? How do you prove that to the interviewer? So interviewer will be like, okay, now you have done certification in business analysis. That tells you that you have like that extra effort, right? You're taking that extra effort to prepare for that exam, clear that exam. So that means like you're really serious. Now if you compare two candidates, or let's take like 10 candidates, they're coming to an interview, and on a skill set level is everybody is like, okay, everybody is fine, but the interviewer is going to look for that one extra thing in them. So if someone has done this kind of certifications, means that's an added value for their resume and for them, because something tells that these people are taking that one extra step to be very professional in their career, right? Because it's not easy. If you see the exam fees, then you'll be like, oh, I don't want to take it, because very expensive exam. I'll tell you how much is it. So okay, this is ECBA. Now it comes to, I'll tell the other differences, and I'll tell you about the exam fees. For CCBA and CBAP, these two are very tough exams compared to ECBA. ECBA is like, I think 95% most people will clear it, because it's already. Can you guys go on mute? So for CCBA, right? The For CCBA and CBAP, the prerequisites are there. So you cannot take CCBA and CBAP if you don't have any kind of real-time business analysis experience. So for CCBA, the criteria to take this exam is you need to have at least 2 to 3 years of experience. Okay. So ability to take on larger or more complex projects. How they're going to like validate that experiences, they're going to ask for about a minimum of 3,750 hours of business analysis in the last 7 years. And you should, in that 3,750, right, they want documentation on whether you have worked on all the 6 knowledge areas in BABOK. So I don't know that BABOK is the Bible for business analysis, right? So there are like actually 6 knowledge areas. So you have to show like every knowledge area, you have to show that you have worked at least 900 hours. Okay. And in addition to that, they need 21 hours of PDUs. PDU is professional development. So what this means is, like, let's say you are saying that I have 3,750 hours, and somehow I can clear that check. You say you're giving some kind of your friend's reference, and you're clearing that check. Okay. Now, that's not enough to take this exam. What they want is like minimum of 21 hours of professional development. So what is this 21 hours of professional development? They have contract with certain vendors. Okay. So let me show you the vendor details. If you let me take the name, vendor details. Okay. So they have, so IIBA endorse educational providers. If you click on this, you will know. So they have like multiple level of different kind of, this providers. Okay. So One of them is actually find and okay.
Ma'am, I have one question. Can I ask?
Not now. Let me finish the training.
Okay, fine.
So if you see here, right? So they have asked for like these are the endorsed education and training vendors. So for example, IIBA, right? They have contract with all these vendors. If you see the vendor's name, you have Master Labs, you have Adapt to US, you have Tech Canvas, you have IBM, mind mapping consulting, and see Tech Canvas is there, Adaptive US. So these are like different kind of educational, like training vendors, okay? And they provide courses. For example, if you see CCBA or CBAP, for CCBA and CBAP, Tech Canvas is providing training. And then if you see other vendors also, there are multiple vendors, Simply Learn. All these vendors are there. Some of them are there in YouTube too. But the problem is it's a paid training. If you go to Tech Canvas also, let me log into Tech Canvas. I'll show you how much it's in Tech Canvas. So if you see in Tech Canvas, if you see their courses, you will know that they are training for the CBAP, right? Let's say CCBA. Okay. CCBA, for the 21 hours, they are providing a course. Like they're giving all the study materials and they are providing that course. Okay. If I want to click enroll now, if you see the fees, it's about around 14,000 Indian rupees. Like it is like 14,000, and think you have some discount too. You have to, I think, ask them for discount. But in US, it should be something around $150 or something like that. Okay. And they have bundles too. So this is just for their training. This is like for if they have some kind of this includes IIBA membership, application fee, and all that. So they are licensed vendors with IIBA. Okay, so for example, if you go with this 43,000, what will happen is this includes IIBA membership, application fee, exam fee, everything. So because there are two types of fees for this CCBA. So first is you have to get, let me write down so that you guys can understand. So for CCBA, first thing you have to do is like you have to enroll with one of their vendors. Okay, to gain that 21 hours of PDU. Okay, so there are three fees here. One is that vendor is going to charge you. Okay, so that vendor means, let's say that ABC vendor. That ABC vendor is going to ask you maybe $150. Okay, in Indian rupees, it's going to be 15,000 rupees, okay, on average. And then second fee is you're going to have an application fee. Okay, application fee is around, let me check the application fee. IIBA, I go to IIBA, I click on this, get started. Okay, so this is the application fee, not the exam fee. There are two fees. Okay, so this is the application fee. $145 is the application fee. So just convert and tell me what is one exactly $145 in rupees. Okay, so that's there. The third one is exam fee. Okay, so exam fee is, again, I told you application fee is different from exam fees, right? Let's say that I'm now registering for the exam. So this is application. Where is my exam fee? So once, see, that's the problem. They're not showing the fee here. It will be around, because I've taken CBAP, so I know that it will be around 350 at least. Okay. So overall, it's very expensive exams, and it's going to be in Indian rupees. It's going to be around something like 50,000 rupees, right? Including the training, it will be around more than 50 to 60, depending upon the which vendor you're going to select for this training. So in the application, what they're going to ask you is they're going to ask you documents, not documents, they're going to ask you references for those 3,750. And if you say that I have 3 years of experience and I already worked as a BA, and then if you're saying that you want to take this exam, they're going to ask for 2 references, okay, and their email IDs. Also, they're going to ask their phone numbers and also which company you worked, okay, your current company. And then they're going to ask for your company's website, your company's phone number, and then email ID. Email is not mandatory, but they're going to ask for some website, okay? So all this you have to give. Also, you have to complete this training with one of their vendors and get certificate. For example, you're going with Tech Canvas. So Tech Canvas or anybody can, not only Tech Canvas, it can be anybody, Simply Learn. All these vendors are official vendors from IIBA. So let's say that you're going with this Tech Canvas, okay, and you completed all their training, and now you got certification from Tech Canvas. Now they want that someone from Tech Canvas to verify that you studied with them, so that you have to give one name, okay? So name and phone number from the educational provider, okay? So that you have to submit in the application. So when you submit the application, these are some things they're going to ask, and they're going to ask you whether you got trained on the 6 knowledge areas. So the 6 knowledge areas are, I will show you what are the 6 knowledge areas. So CCBA handbook. So see, this is the exam steps, right? So first is you have to fulfill your eligibility requirements. Eligibility is 3,750 business analysis hours. Also, you should have done that 21 hours of learning from one of the vendors. Then you have to purchase their application, fill all your details, submit the application. So once you submit the application, they're going to review your application, okay? So they're going to check everything, whether you've completed the training, whether you actually you have experience and all that. See here, work history, they're going to ask references, and you're going to purchase the application, you're going to submit it. If your application is approved, okay, only then you can purchase the exam. Okay, so the 2 fees, don't get confused with 150, 145 is not the exam fees. It's just application fees. Once your application is approved, then that exam fee, that icon will be available for you, where you can purchase the exam. It's $350, and you can either take it online or you can go to a test center and take it. So you can do it both ways. For CCBA, the exam hours is, I'll give you an idea of how that exam hours, I think it's 3 hours, but let me confirm. Yeah, it's 3 hours. So it's like 130 multiple choice questions. It's scenario based. Okay. ECBA is very simple. It's 50 questions. Everything is single line statements, and you have multiple choice. You have to click one from that. But CCBA, it's 130 questions, multiple choice, scenario based questions. So it will be mostly if you want to see the exam questions, it will be like this. Okay. A company has been using application for several years, but one component has manual entry. Now they want to automate this application. As a business analyst, what is the first step that you will do? So first thing is you have to perform stakeholder analysis. You will get the name of all the stakeholders, who are the external stakeholders and internal stakeholders. And if you see, if his answer is not there, right, everything will look like answer. Okay, first thing, okay, I'm going to schedule a workshop, then I'm going to like gather all the requirements, then I'm going to prioritize a business. Like everything will look like answers. So it's very confusing unless and until you are like properly tech canvas will train you. Okay, but that's not enough. You have to like take multiple questions and then you have to practice it. At least it takes 2 months for you to have that exam mindset, right? Because it's 3 hours exam and you have to finish all the 130. Everything is scenario based. It's a lot tough exam. People, and if you see the exam fees, if you know that it's about 50,000 rupees, you're investing on yourself for this exam. And if you fail, you fail. That's all. There is no, you cannot retake it again. And all for retake means again you have to do all this like application fee, exam fee, and everything. So, what are the 6 knowledge areas? Business analysis, planning and monitoring, elucidation and collaboration, requirements lifecycle management, strategy analysis, requirements analysis and design definition, and solution evaluation. All the 6 knowledge areas will be covered by Tech Canvas. So that's why they want you to go for that private training. Okay, all the 6 knowledge areas, complete Babcock materials they're going to cover. Also, they are going to like cover all like sample questions and everything, right? Not only Tech Canvas, Tech Canvas is one of their vendors. You can go with any vendor who's going to provide that training for you. So this is for CCBA. For CBAP, CBAP is the final advanced exam. I have taken this exam. I've cleared this exam like 3 to 4 years back. So I will tell you, it's one of the toughest exams. And here, the eligibility is like you should have 7,500 hours. Okay, 7,500 hours of business analysis work experience in the last 10 years. And then you should have minimum of 900 hours in all the 6 BABAC knowledge areas and minimum of 35 hours of professional development. For the 35 hours, again, you have to take that from one of their educational providers. And I actually took from Tech Canvas because they have some of the cheapest options. So I just went here and then I got their early bird, something like that. So I didn't take their materials. I didn't go for their full-fledged bundle and all. I just took their like basic course. Enroll. Yeah. So for CBAP, it will be a little bit extra. So I just went for this basic one because I know, I mean, this training is just to for IIBA to say that they have covered 6 knowledge areas, right? But this is not enough. They give you some more questions and everything. You have to practice this. This will take at least for a month for you to get used to this 800 questions. Everything is scenario based, case studies. So you have to practice on your own. And then because this is a very time sensitive exam. So total, I think you have to take within 4 hours. I remember it's 4 hours. 3.5, yes. So it's 3.5 hours and then 120 multiple choice. For CCBA, it's 130. But this 120 will be everything very complicated scenarios. So if you see their blueprint, right? This is not like, I mean, the exam questions will not be like this in single line or something. Very, very complicated scenarios will be given to you and you have to crack it. Okay. So just by reading these materials or just by going to Tech Canvas training, you will not be able to crack it. So from my experience, you have to solve all the previous, like maybe 1 or 2 years, like cumulative, all the exam papers, right? You have to get that and then you have to practice. So if you practice about like 1,000 questions, now you'll be able to like finish all this 120 questions in 3.5 hours, right? So that's how you're going to crack it. So just for the eligibility sake, yes. So you need to show that you have 7,500 hours of business analysis work. You're going to give references. And again, you're going to like get training from one of their vendors, complete that training. And it depends from each vendor, right? When they're going to start their training and end their training. So some will take like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Some will take, I don't know, maybe weekends they take classes. So what, according to your flexibility, you have to complete this professional development and you have to, IIBA will check with them whether you're completed or not. And then you have to provide references. So after everything is completed, once your application is approved, only then you can take the exam. I took the exam like in exam center because online, I don't prefer taking it online. So I like that exam environment. So I went to a test center so that nobody's bothering me. I'm inside a cabin. So 3.5 hours and then like 120 questions. So you already practice about 1,000 questions, right? So now you know, and your brain is so much tuned to all these exam patterns and everything. So you're not overwhelmed, you're not shocked by every question. And I will tell you all the multiple choice questions, answers, everything will look like answer. A is also answer, B is also an answer, C is also answer, and D is also answer. How I'm going to like finalize which is the correct one. So for CBAP, I would, if you're a beginner, I would say that do not go for CCBA and CBAP. Don't waste your money. Just take ECBA. But if you already have some kind of, so if you're above 30 and you want to somehow like catch up with other peers, or like if you're going for directly for senior BA, you're adding that fake experience in your resume, you want to somehow crack this exam, then that is also possible, but it takes immense effort from your side. So I've created the study planner for you guys. So every day you have to study at least for 2 hours. Every day you have to study for 2 hours, and every topic. For example, today I'm going to okay, so you're going to write it here. So no, it's not. So for example, it's like, for example, knowledge area 1. Okay, so I'm going to complete business analysis, planning and monitoring. So if I'm going to take that topic, means how long it took for me to start and finish. So it took 2 hours, 3 hours, or how many hours? And you're going to add notes. So every day you're going to like finish this. You're going to take some topic. What are your study goals? So there are about 6 knowledge areas. For every knowledge area, I'm going to like at least finish maybe 20 questions, 30 questions every day. And what are the resources I'm going to use? I'm going to use maybe Simply Learn, their training material, or I'm going to use Babok, or I'm going to whatever interview questions, the exam questions I have in the internet, I'm going to take all the dumps and I'm going to prepare however you want to use it, right? You can take all those help, add all the resources list here, and task will be like for that particular day. Okay, for example, if it's going to be knowledge area 1, how long it's taking for me to complete 20 questions. You're going to like time, you're going to have a timer with you, and then you're going to like, for example, 20 questions, I'm taking 2 hours. Then maybe in a week later, 20 questions, you're going to do it in half an hour. So because it's 3.5 hours for 120 questions. Okay, so you have to like time every question and how your brain works and everything. It will take time. It will take at least like 2 months for you to, if you have every day, if you're allocating like 2 hours, then I think you should be able to clear it. That's how I cleared it. So every day I'll take the training materials from Tech Canvas, their questions, papers, and everything, and I'll sit down, I'll time, and I will have notes like this. Okay, what is the topic I'm going to study today? Start time, finish time, and then notes whether I'm able to finish it within 1 hour or like that. And then when you are able to complete 120 questions in 3.5 hours, then you are like at least 50% you are prepared. Right now, from a timing perspective, you are prepared. But what about scenario based perspective? So you at least practice 1,000 questions, only then you will be able to clear it. Yeah, so these are the 3 different exams, and I won't recommend CBAP for someone who have zero experience. I won't recommend CCBA also. It's very expensive, and you have to like get trained. And if you don't have time, please don't do this. You can directly go for ECBA. But from a value perspective, they know, industry knows. If you have done CBAP means you have invested considerable amount of time, and you have cleared this exam. So if you add in your resume that you are CBAP certified, they know that you have done some kind of work. Okay. Okay. Now, like, you can ask me questions on these 3 certifications. Do you have any questions?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
I have experienced 2.5 years in IT. So can I do this certification or go with my internal certification or Coursera and all?
Yeah. So from a value perspective, I mean these have higher value over Coursera courses. But one thing you have to, like, there are three things you have to keep in mind, right? One is like, do I have the money? It's going to take 50,000 rupees, right? Do I have the money and do I have the time? So you can go for ECBA and CCBA since you said you have 2+. You can go for CCBA also. You can provide references, but whether you have funding or whether you have time, because I told you this is not very easy to clear. So every day, at least 2 hours, you have to spend, at least an hour and a half, you have to spend for 2 months in order for you to get used to these exam patterns and everything. Coursera and all is like online, right? So it's not by some, this is like in International Institute of Business Analysis, like the highest standards for BA right now. We have no other institute compared to IIBA who can provide like this kind of standard exams, and they know they don't take any kind of nonsense. For example, you do something wrong in their audit, then your application will be denied. You do something fraud, that's you can never take their exams. So you have to be very careful on what you're saying in the application, what kind of references you are giving, and they can revoke your certification too. So for example, they think that if somebody else is taking that certification for you, or somehow you're clearing the certification, if they come to know in the audit, they can revoke your certification too. So it's not that you're certified from them, it means like forever you're certified, no, right? So they, everything is monitored. Even if you're taking it from home through online, it's proctored, right? So someone is monitoring you. Even exam center also, someone is monitoring you. So you have to be well prepared. But Coursera is not like that. It can take it any time from home and nobody's monitoring. It's not proctored.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Any other questions?
Hi,
Yes, good
Pratibha.
morning.
Sonali here. Hello.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for this session, Pratibha. So I have a question regarding the referral. So do I have to like give the details of my current managers, and also do I have to submit work experience as such, because I do not have BA experience. I want to transition my career into BA. Like I have
No, they
investment
don't
banking
ask
knowledge.
any kind of like documents or anything. All they ask is like, are you currently working, from which date to which date? So you can give your, if you're working currently, you can give that employer name and everything. And that reference is right. They're asking either email ID or phone number. So in case if your application is going for audit, I don't know what's algorithm for audit. Okay. In case if it's going for audit, they'll send an email to that reference, and that reference has to say, yes, Swapna has these like 3,750 hours of B experience. That can be through email or phone. So it's not mandatory. Phone is not mandatory. So with only you can give one reference, their name and email ID too. And if they get it, if you're getting into audit, not all the applications are into audit, right? But if you're out of luck and your application is taken for audit, then they are going to like send an email to that reference, whatever you're providing, and that particular person has to verify through their email ID that yes, this person worked from this date to this date as BA in our organization.
Okay, and what about like if I'm not working right now, like I'm planning to take break, and in that, do I have to like give the this referral details from my previous organization if I'm not working?
Yeah. So when did you graduate? Which year?
Graduated like 8, 9 years back. I'm currently working, and like right now I'm on my notice period, and I'm thinking to give the exam in couple of months.
Correct. So
So
someone
at
has,
the time,
you can give your current employer, okay, because right now you are working in
um,
you can, I mean, your application can be approved within 2 days also. That's not that's not at all a problem. Can someone like refer? I mean, if suppose you are getting into audit, you need to have a valid email ID from those two references. Do you have those two people?
yeah,
Nobody's
yeah,
going to
I
call
have.
your HR. Nobody's going to do that.
Okay.
Nobody's going to
Okay,
do that. They
understood.
don't have money and resources to do that. Okay, they're one organization for the whole universe. They're doing it. Okay, so they don't call your HR. They don't ask for your experience certificate. No, they're going to email that email ID that you're providing them
Mm-hmm.
for those
Okay,
to,
understood.
yeah, it can be from your colleagues or it can be your, I mean, it can be anybody. But if suppose you get into audit, your application is picked in the audit, and an email is sent to that particular person, they have to just press or email saying that, I don't know whether it's an icon or something, yes or no, but they have to say that yes, Swapna has worked as a BA from this day to this day. That's all. That's the only thing IIBA is looking for.
Yeah, understood. Thanks. I
Yeah.
have actually one more question. So, in 7 8 months back, I have done this training, CCBA, IIBA approved from a one Mumbai West training organization. From there, I have done the training, and I have 35 PDOs. But I'm not sure if this training institute is there in that IIBA list,
Okay, let me
approved
check.
list.
Okay, you didn't check
Yeah.
that when you paid the money?
I didn't check that. I was not aware
Okay, what's
of
their name?
this list. Train Smart.
Train Smart.
This
Okay. Is this right? Is the spelling right?
I guess so. Yeah, yeah,
This one, Trains per Academy. Yes, they are.
yeah,
They
yeah.
are. They are
It's there.
approved. Yes.
Okay. And what is the validity of this PDOs? Like I have received 35 PDOs. I have completed.
When did you finish
So
that?
it's in I've done it in
Feb,
February this
right?
year.
Feb.
Yeah.
I think it should have. So let me check. I don't want to give you wrong information. See, I know the application. Once the application is approved, you have to take the exam within 1 year. That's there. But I think they are not going to look for like when you completed the training with that vendor, right? But let me confirm. Give me a second. But if you apply for that exam and your application is approved, you have 1 year to take that exam.
Hmm.
Did they say you anything?
No, not sure. I'm not sure. Actually, they did not mention anything about the validity.
Mm,
It just came to my mind right now when I was listening to you. So I just thought of asking you, like, is there any validity as such for these videos?
expression. I'm thinking. Okay, give me a second because mostly people are going to take in a year, right? Okay. Let me check screen. So they have not mentioned anywhere that see it is 12 months from the day IIBA received an exam or uh, so after the application is approved, right? It is
This
12
is for,
months.
yeah, this
So
is for application. Yeah.
yeah. So they have not anywhere listed here. Can
Mm.
I,
Okay.
let me take. Otherwise, they would have listed here. No, I don't think so. There is any kind of
Mm.
timeline that you have to like take the exam within certain date. But I would recommend you to take within like February.
Okay, before
Correct.
February
Mm-hmm.
next year. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we don't know about these vendors, right? Sometimes they can even close and leave. So I mean, how much did you invest on the training?
I invested around 40,000
40?
in 40,000. Yeah. So actually, I did agile training also. So
Hmm.
around 40,000 I invested.
Oh, that's too much, I think, for this
Yeah.
exam. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So my recommendation is like, do you know how? Yes, Swapna. So, see, my recommendation, you're going to go for CCBA or CBAP.
Actually, I'm planning for CCBA.
Okay. So, yeah, if you're going to go for CCBA, okay, let me stop the recording because I don't want this to be in internet floating around.
I want to.
Okay, let me add it in the chat. Okay, I've added in the chat. So,
Yeah, thanks.
okay, so anybody has any other questions regarding this IIBA exams?
Yes, I do. Good morning. Thank
Hi.
you so much for sharing your knowledge. I really appreciate your time as well. So I'm new into business analyst. I took a boot camp and I really wanted to get some kind of certification to enhance my resume. So from what I've learned today, it will be appropriate for me to do the ECBA, correct?
So you, I mean, from which country you're from? I mean,
I mean, yeah, I'm in here in New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, you can try CCBA, but the problem is, do you have any references?
Yes, I do.
If someone can verify for you those hours.
Okay. Yeah, the places that I worked.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, someone. I mean, it not always your application is going to go for audit, right? I'm telling that again and again. Sometimes within like 2 minutes, your application can be approved.
Okay.
Okay, so
So,
that's the application usually asks like, what is your start date, end date? What are
okay.
the hours? For example, if you're going to take CCBA, it's going to ask for 3,750 hours. And then it's going to ask for your current employer name and then two references.
Okay.
And then, and you have to take additional training from one of their vendors. That's a mandatory thing.
Okay. So I can go for the CCBA, correct?
Yeah, provided you
Okay.
have all that money and you should take, I told you, for those professional,
Yes.
you have to take training from one of their vendors.
Yes. Got it.
So I
Okay.
can give you the link where you can find their vendors, right? See here. So find endorse vendors. So here, if you search, let's say in New Jersey, nothing is there. So maybe you want online or classroom, however you want. Okay, I'll give
Um,
you the
y- yeah, I can do online as well.
yeah. So I'll put the link in the chat so that
Okay.
you can whichever provider is like comfortable for you, you can
Okay.
choose one.
Got it.
And also see the prices will differ very. I mean, like one will
Okay.
charge 40. I mean, like $200. One will charge maybe $150. One can charge even $1,500. So you have to be very careful.
Got you. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
yeah.
So, okay, yeah. So I will lean towards because I know you were talking about the differences and the weight they both carry. So,
Mm.
yeah. So,
And if you are able to clear it, I think for 2 to 3 years, the exam pattern is 130 questions, 3 hours
okay.
exam. So it's not going
Okay.
to be difficult like CBAP,
Got
but
you.
it's not very easy as ECB also. It will have some kind of difficulty, but you'll be able to. I think you'll be able to pass.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay,
Great. Thank you very much.
you're welcome. Is there anybody else who has any questions on these certifications? Okay. I will go to the next one. Next one is
Ma'am, can you share that vendor link also in chat?
yeah, I've added in the chat.
Okay.
Okay. So the next one is like very domain specific business analyst certifications, right? So we have two certifications. One is Salesforce and one is Pega based business analyst certifications. So the difference, I'll tell you what is the difference. Difference is these are pretty generic. IIBA doesn't have any industry, something like this is only for IT or this is only for like healthcare, or this is only for banking, something like that. No, it's a very generic institute where you can be even from like any kind of, let's say you're working for a mining company and you are a business analyst for a mining company, you can take this certificate. You can be working for retail, you can be working for any e-commerce company. It's not very specific to IT, right? So one thing about IIBA is if you get certified from IIBA, it's a very generic certification, which is today you're working in IT, tomorrow you're going to a different industry, still the certification is valid. Okay, your experience is valid as a BA, and the certification is also valid. Whereas Salesforce and Pega are IT-based certification. Okay, Salesforce, is a product, and Pega is also a coding platform. It's a product. Both are like coding products. So if you want to get into Salesforce, let me show you. This is the official Salesforce website. Okay, so I'm going to copy that and add it in the chat. Okay, so Salesforce have their business analyst certifications. If you think that your budget is, if you have very low budget and you want to do something, you cannot afford IIBA. It's very expensive. Now, if you want to do something within $200 and you don't want to do any extra training and everything, then you can do Salesforce. Okay, so here all they are asking is you need to have 2+ years of business analyst experience, and you need to know basic like knowledge about Salesforce. And you don't need to get any kind of training from anybody. They provide the training modules. Okay, anybody can take this exam. For example, business analyst, consultant, business system analyst, product owner, platform manager, CRM manager, business operations. Anybody can take it. It's not very specific to only to business analysts. Anybody from this role can take it, these roles. And then one thing is, see here, 60 multiple choice questions. And it's 105 minutes. 105 means it will be around 2 hours, right? Something around 2 hours, yes. And passing score is 72%. And it's only like $200. And you don't need to take any kind of training. They provide the training materials. So training materials will be like, so Trailhead is their official like name. Salesforce name is Trailhead. So they have all the modules. Okay, so if you go to their website, right, you can just sign up and everything, all this is free. Okay, so you'll be learning about like how to collaborate with stakeholders, what is business process mapping, how to review requirements, how to like refresh your user story skills, acceptance criteria. It's pretty much basic. It's about 35 minutes. You'll be able to complete all these modules. Next is, let me close. Yeah. So once you finish that training, they also have some materials. So materials are, what is that? Yeah. So if you see here, right, they have some materials. Okay, so module, essential business analyst skills. Then something, all the different modules are there. You have to be able to finish that. And they're giving an idea of how this exam will be. Okay. So there are some practice questions. You can use that. But my candidates who have taken this exam has provided me feedback that these materials are not enough, right? They're going to ask about 70% business analysis questions, and then maybe 30% is Salesforce material. If you see here, this is the exam pattern. So collaboration with stakeholders, business process mapping, requirements, how do you gather requirements, how do you write user stories, and all this, how do you write acceptance criteria. So one other candidate actually told me he saw my videos, that 10-hour videos, and some other, like I've already done a few videos on all these topics, right? Like how to gather requirements and all. So he said like those techniques were all useful. And for this also, I recommend people getting the previous 12 months question paper, and then I mean, I don't guarantee you'll get the same exact questions or not, but the pattern is going to be the same. Okay, so you will know if this is the question, you'll be able to rule out the options and you'll be able to pick the correct one. So this is for people who want to specifically get into Salesforce, and or if you think that no, I don't want to get into Salesforce, I want to do something very generic, then save your money, then you can take IIBA. But if you think that I want to get a job within like 2 months, 3 months, I want to add some value to my resume, or I want to get into Salesforce very specifically as Salesforce business analyst, then please, you can take this exam. It's going to be very easy compared to IIBA, CCBA, and CBAP. This is easy, very straightforward. But you can get the training materials from their website itself, and also please get the previous 12 months question papers, prepare it, and then you can take the exam. This one you can also take it online, or you can go for a test center too. It's up to you. Okay, any doubts on Salesforce exam? Anybody interested in taking Salesforce?
Yeah, I'll be interested since I'm coming into the field. So yeah, I'll be interested in taking it.
Yeah, but see, you're basically non-IT, right?
I have some IT in healthcare. I work as implementation analyst.
Okay.
So I have some kind of background knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, so it's up to you if you want to get
Okay.
into IIBA. But see, mostly people, what you have to do is, my recommendation is please research on what are the certifications that are like the job description, right? They want you to
Okay.
have.
Okay.
Well, whenever like take few JDs and see what are the certifications they're asking for. Mostly they'll be asking from IIBA only.
Okay.
Okay, this is for people who want to specifically get into Salesforce. This is a coding platform. Okay, so there will be Salesforce developers, admins. There are different kind of roles, and so in that case, you want to get into very specifically as a Salesforce business analyst, then you should be able to take this exam. If you're like pretty much generic about you can get into any kind of industry, then I prefer you to do IIBA only.
I've been hearing the buzz about Salesforce, so if it's already sparked my interest that it will be one of the companies I would like to get into.
Okay, so yeah, in that case, you should be able to crack this, but also don't do it like, see, people have excitement about all the certifications and all that, right? And then they'll be like paying for the exam and all, and then they'll fail. I've seen multiple people doing that. So to take your own time.
Okay.
That's why don't apply now and immediately after a week don't take that exam.
Right.
Okay, so you have to like take it slowly, and every day you have to train your brain. Okay, because for exams you need to have a different kind of mindset.
Right.
Okay, it's not like interview. For exams, it's like it's a timed thing. Right? So please have this study planner.
Okay.
Something like this. Then time all your questions. How long you're taking like for every question. When did you start, finish? What is the total time? Take notes. And you have to practice that every day for your brain to get used to it. This exam patterns and everything. Do not take the very expensive exams. I don't want you to lose money. So take your time and take the exam. Okay. So tomorrow I will teach you about Pega certification, and also about like whether some other I mean, I have a few tricks, but I cannot show it in YouTube. So if you want to join, you can join tomorrow's class. I feel personally like whether you have to get into Pega or not, because I feel Pega has a lot of scope. But if you want to get into Pega, then you have to join tomorrow's class, because I'll edit some of the versions. I don't want to put everything in YouTube, because someone can report also, right? These are very expensive exams. They are all very certified, approved providers. So I don't want someone to report saying like, okay, someone is giving training on this without the knowledge. And also this is just for educational purposes. So if you want to take the exam, take it. And my recommendation is like, please don't take it within a week or something after you get some training from the vendor. Please take your time. You need to have at least 2 months of like practice every day, 1 hour for 2 months. You have to practice, and then please take the training. Do not go for proxies. Don't do any kind of fraud. Your certifications will be revoked. Okay, please keep that in mind. Okay, thank you everyone for joining. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, because cases and questions, like questions will be based on business cases and
It's all like
the
scenario
process.
based, right? It's scenario based.
Okay.
So you have to make sure that you prepare accordingly. So it's because
Okay.
ECBA will be pretty much easy for you, but CCBA and CBAP, they are difficult exams. So there are two things.
Okay.
First of all, you have to apply for application, and then you have to take the exam.
Okay. No, but I've seen like I saw the application fee for ECBA and CCBA. So if I'm gonna like if I buy any like if I get into one exam and after that I should do like
And
another
but that's
exam,
what,
right? So,
yeah. So when you told that you finished your graduation in 2022, right?
yes, yes.
You cannot do CBAP. That's the problem. I mean, how are you going to show
Okay.
that you have 7 years of experience then? Because you
Alright,
just
yeah,
want to.
yeah.
So CCBA should be ideal for you, and they are going to question you, right? If you can do CBAP, you can clear CBAP, then they'll if you go for an interview, they'll be like, how did you clear CBAP then? Because for that you need to have 7 years of experience.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
ideal would be for you to do CCA for now. Maybe after 3 years you can do CBAP.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thanks everybody for joining. And today we are going to learn about Pega. So yesterday we saw about how to finish all these 3 certifications. Today I'm going to talk about how to finish Pega certification, right? So Pega is nothing but it's a coding platform. It's like an enhanced Java based coding platform. Okay, so this is a licensed product. Licensed product means if, for example, if you're working for some company, let's say you're working for a hospital, or you're working for a US healthcare client, and they may be in their products, right, for processing claims, for processing prior authorizations, or processing any kind of let's say in banking, right, for processing credit cards. It could be anything, any kind of automation, externally or internally, both platforms you can use Pega. So the advantage of using Pega or buying this license and then your company using Pega is this is low coding platform. So if you're going to go for JavaScript or core Java, people are going to they have to do coding from scratch, right? But this is like low coding platform. So some kind of coding is already there, and then your developer is going to do only create some kind of workflows instantly. They are going to create. Okay, so it's less coding time, and then it's more secured also. That's why people are going for Pega. So Pega projects are usually like I see a lot of Pega projects, jobs listed by Deloitte. TCS also has some project. Virtus has a lot of Pega projects, and then CTS also has some kind of Pega projects. So, in order to become a Pega BA, you need to learn Pega, right? Without that, you cannot become a Pega BA. So, Pega Academy have free course. So once you get access to Pega Academy. So you can just give your Gmail and get access. I've logged into my Pega Academy. So if you go to my dashboard, you'll be able to see the different certifications, and you should select business architect. Okay, so business architect BA is nothing but business analyst only. So what they're going to give is like they're going to have series of these videos. Okay, these are all free. So none of them is like charged. Pega Academy is giving everything for free. Okay, so please take advantage, and then you can start studying this. What is Pega, and what are the different modules in Pega? What is how to create a case? What are the different life cycles of a case, and how for a BA, right? How to create a case, or how to do a life cycle for BAs. So everything is very detailedly like written from Pega Academy itself. It's a very, very interesting training session. If you want, you can do it. So it's about the course time is about 26 hours. Okay, so it will take 26 hours means it may take at least for you like 2 weeks or 3 weeks to complete this course. So, and it's totally free. So you can complete that. Once you have completed this course, then you can directly like go and take the exam. So exams will be like, for example, go take this Pega exam. If you see the Pega exam, right? They have told that exam topics, everything is about Pega only is going to come. So how to create a case, what is case management, what is data integration, what is Pega Express, and how BA can create all these different kind of modules, and how to do reporting from using this Pega application. So this is not generic BA codes. This is very like, say, at least in Salesforce, like the questions, all the common BA questions will come, but in Pega certification, right, 100% I'm telling, not anything like, they're not going to ask you anything like requirement gathering, they're not going to ask you anything like scrum topics, they're not going to ask anything testing, nothing like that. Completely they're going to like focus on exactly in Pega what you do in that application, right? What is meant by workflow, what is meant by work basket, and how to configure child cases. So how to create any kind of automation queues and everything inside Pega, and how to integrate Pega with external systems through an API and everything. So, and how to, what is the difference between authorization? For example, if it's going to be healthcare, how to create a healthcare product, and how to create a banking product. So this is more, a little bit more technical. So if you are from non-IT, this can be very, very difficult for you to crack. Very difficult for you to crack, because you need to know some kind of like basic like IT knowledge, right? To learn. These are like very, very overwhelming topics. And if you study on your own, and you can study too. So because this is free, try to take these classes. After a session or two, like you'll be feeling, I don't understand this is Greek and Latin for me, because they are very, very, very technical topics. But if you have a computer science background, if you're very much interested to get into this kind of role, then this can be very helpful. But Pega-based projects, if you are in the US, then there is a huge scope for Pega, right? Pega business analyst, because here most of the Fortune 400 companies, they are using Pega only. So, for example, you take any kind of insurance, Aetna, Cigna, or Optum, any kind of insurance, their prior authorization is actually built in Pega, Pega only. Same way for Bank of America, Wells Fargo, their like credit card. Like automation of credit cards, everything is done by Pega only. So if you are in the US, and if you want to get into BA, and you want to something get into very like specific type of BA roles, then you can do this certification. And I will tell you like the salary for a Pega BA. So this can motivate you to complete this exam. See here. So Pega business analyst salary, 210K, about 160K. And also, if you see here, total average is above 110 only. Okay, and then you can get up to um, 210. See, if you see basic, it will be at least 110, 115. So, because it's very hard for people to crack this exam and know about these modules and all, right? It's a little bit technical. This is not like plain vanilla BA like kind of certification. IIBA, it's like that. For IIBA, like right? Anybody can take it. Anybody, you can be from any kind of background. So, like I told you yesterday, you can be from retail, you can be from mining, you can be from even fashion industry. And if you want, you're working as a BA, you can take this ECBA, CCBA, and CBAP. But this is very generic. Okay, you can from IT, or if it can be from any kind of background, you can take these certifications. But Salesforce and Pega are not like that. They are very specific IT domain certifications, and they are product based certifications. Okay, Salesforce is a product, Pega is a licensed product. Both are licensed products. Licensed means you cannot have access to Salesforce. I mean, you means your company. For example, TCS, they're developing something on Salesforce, right? They have to give money to Salesforce company and they have to buy the product. Same way, if TCS want to build something on Pega, they have to pay an annual fee. Okay, depending upon number of users. For example, they have 100 developers and maybe 100 business analysts, and they're working on some banking project. For 200 people like login, right, they have to pay annually some kind of fee for them for to Pega. So that's how Pega and Salesforce are getting their money. So, but why the people want to develop on something? There are free coding languages, right? Like Java is free, Code Java is free. We can do it like free. Why do people want to like spend money, buy these products and build on top of that? Because there are certain functionalities these Salesforce and Pega is giving, right? So because I want to develop a product in 2 months. I don't have time to do it from scratch. And if I get this Pega based license and my developer already knows how to create workflow, how to create queues, and he can do it in 2 sprint, 3 sprint, and we can go live in 2 months. Then the leadership is like, get that for me. I don't mind how much it is. It's a state mandate. I want the client is asking us to deliver in 2 months. Get that product. And if you're going to do something like open source, like Core Java and all, it's going to take a lot of time testing and you're going to build it from scratch and allow so many errors and all that. But here, Pega team is going to come and help you. Okay, if your developer is having any kind of issue in production or if they are unable to resolve, then you can actually ask Pega team because you're paying them annual fee. So they will come and help you. And we have seen this multiple times during production issues. If your developer is unable to resolve anything and he don't know what is the problem, why this is happening, then immediately as a BA they'll ask you to coordinate with that external Pega team, and those engineers actually will fly and come. Okay, so they will come and then they will be like, in the past we have seen a group of people coming and then trying to resolve everything for 2 to 3 days. They will resolve it and they will be like, this is the problem, you have to fix this, and they'll do the training to your developers also. So but it's very 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 expensive product. And uh, for someone to learn this as a developer, it's going to take time. As a BA, it's going to take time, but the money also is there, right? So if you want to become something like very specific BA, so healthcare, banking, that's different. That's all domain based knowledge. You need to understand the difference between healthcare, banking, those kind of terminologies. So if it's healthcare, I mean, in healthcare, product can be developed in Java, .NET. It can be developed in JavaScript or Angular, whatever it is. It can be developed in any coding platform, right? So that's different from this Pega or Salesforce. These are very specific IT coding languages. Okay, so you need to have, as a BA, you need to have domain knowledge. Also, one of these platforms, if you have time, if you have the money, then please do one of these certifications because it adds value to your resume. Not too many people know about Pega, and not too many people know that Pega gives free training modules. If you log in, right, all their modules are actually free. The exam is $175, but their training module, everything is free. So if you like, just by having your Gmail account, you should be able to log in and you can do all the self study. I don't know whether you'll be able to understand it because I have told you this can be very overwhelming, but you have completed all these questions, uh, all this training modules, there'll be 60 questions. And if you should be able to take that exam and there'll be a batch. Okay, this is for the training module. Once if you completed this, then you can directly go for the exam. So exam can be in test center or it can be in online. Both ways. So you can register for the exam. Once you register for the exam, you'll be able to take the exam. So that's the difference between Pega and IIBA. So IIBA is for very very generic certification. You can be, I mean, you can be from any kind of background, you can take it. But CCBA and CBAP are equally difficult compared to Pega, right? They are also equally difficult. Don't think it's very easy to clear CCBA or CBAP. They are also very difficult. But Pega, this is also very difficult. Okay, but very clearly they have told you won't get any kind of generic questions. See, right, about Pega Express, what is DCU, and then what is life cycle, case life cycle, how to set case status, how to give instructions, how to automate all the queues, how to automate workflows. So it's very, very specific topics they're going to ask. So it's up to you if you want to do from IIBA or if you want to do Pega. It's up to you. Okay. Any doubts till now on the certifications?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So the next one is like, is it really worth? That's one thing we need to. I mean, you can do all these certifications for thousands and thousands of dollars, but is it really worth to do the certifications? In my perspective, if you can spend like $1,000, $2,000, and like you can complete all these certifications, but if you don't know core BA skills, or if you don't know how to gather requirements and you don't know how to write requirements and you don't know basically from an interview perspective, you don't know how to answer like that. If they ask you like, tell me about yourself, or how do you gather requirements, give me a sample case scenario, or can you write a query? If you don't know how to answer those questions, then nobody is going to hire you. What is the purpose of doing certification? The very first purpose is it adds weightage to your resume. The second purpose is you need to get hired. Third one is salary, right? Those are the three important purposes of doing certification. So first is like you get interview call. Second one is you should be able to crack the interview. The third one is, since I have done some certification, I'm expecting that some kind of like increase in the salary or promotion, whatever it is. So because in some companies, right, they want you to do certifications to get that promotion. It's like it should be your annual goal or something to complete your certification. So if you currently you're not working at all and you don't have money, then my opinion is don't do the certification. Okay, if you don't have money and you are like you're starting from scratch, and please focus on your resume, what you're going to add on the resume, and how I'm going to crack the interview. And I will not ask you to spend anything on this because you can save up and do this later. What you have to focus is most on the core BA skills. Okay, communication skills, documentation skills, and drawing diagrams, how to write BRDs, FRDs, user stories, agile topics. Okay, agile topics. Then domain specific training. Or like I've told you, right? All these free trainings from Salesforce and Pega. All this you can do if you don't have money. So don't think that you don't have money and you don't have any resources, right? There are ample resources. So take advantage and you can start learning. But if you are already in a job and you have some money, then you have to like choose which one which is the right one for me. Should I go for CCBA? Should I go for CBAP? And how long it's going to take for me to clear this exam? Or whether I'll be able to complete, whether it is adding value to my resume, and whether I'll be getting like at least 5%, 10% increase in the salary if I go for a new job. So that's all you have to consider, right? It's not that I did the certification so that someone is going to hire you. No, nobody is going to hire you because you complete a certification. Just it adds value in your resume, but you have to like mostly focus on your skill set only. Skill set means um, one of my candidate actually like told me, they asked in the interview like to actually show some of their documents, like can you show me a BRD that you have written previously, please take all the sensitive data, please show me your the BRD, or can you show me the diagrams that you have drawn, or can you show me the wireframe diagrams that you have drawn. So they're going to ask you um, those kind of questions. How are you going to answer those questions if you know only theoretically? So I watch YouTube videos, then I'm so excited, I know how to write a BR, you watch that video, but you don't know how to write, right? So you need that. That's the gap people are having. They're watching YouTube, but they don't know how to do it. They're saying that this BA will be replaced by AI and stuff. I see so many comments like, oh, this job will be replaced by an AI and stuff. Okay, not today, maybe after 10 years, I don't know about that. But today, people don't know how to write a BRD. Today, people don't know how to give a prompt to ChatGPT. Today, people don't know how to draw a diagram by their own, or even with the help of AI tool, they don't know to do. And this documentation is a huge thing, right? Because not if you take 100 candidates, 95 of them don't know how to write a document. They will be talking in plain English, but they don't know how to like convert those business requirements into some kind of specific documents. So these are the core skills, BA skills, that you have to develop, and those are the only things that is going to get you a job. Okay, of course, domain topics is very important. Like I've told you, plain vanilla BA, there's very less chance for you to get hired. So you need to learn about all this specific domains like healthcare, banking, or e-commerce, or airlines, whatever it is. And then that is secondary. But primarily, how to gather requirements, how to do documentation, how to write user stories, how to test everything. These are very, very important topics that you're going to learn, and then you should focus on that. And these are like additional things, right? So certifications means these are just additional. If you want, you can do it. If you have money, you can do it. You have time, you can do it. And if you're already in the job, then please do it. So if you're already working for CTS, you're working for Deloitte, you're working for Vachisa, you are working as senior associate, you want to get that promotion, then please do it, because that is going to give you that extra promotion. That's going to give you that extra, like for example, how people are going to evaluate and give you a ranking. When you go, let's say you're working for Deloitte, and you know that every year they're going to like review, and then they're going to give you out of 5 some kind of point rate. So in those scenarios, these will give you that extra point. So you have done your work, and what did you do extra? So your manager is like, tell me something you did extra. So in that case, completing one of these certifications is going to like give you so much value, because if 4 of your peers are not doing any kind of certification and you have completed certification, then you are going to be that 5 out of 5 candidate, right? And so that time you're going to get that extra bonus, extra salary or something. If you're all so that's my opinion. If you're already working in any IT company or in a different role, and you want to do the transition, or if you're expecting a promotion, you want to add do something extra for your career, then you please do all the certifications. Okay, you will definitely get that promotion, or at least on a career goal level, right? On an annual goal level, you've completed something, so that you can tell it to your manager. Okay, any doubts on these? Why you have to complete the certifications and whether it has any value or not? Anybody who wants to do these kind of certifications?
I'm interested.
Okay, so yeah, so that's it regarding any other questions on certifications.
No, Parishba. Yeah, we are very clear.
Very clear. Okay.
Thank you.
What about we have Sankara Manipalli?
Yeah, no questions, Pradeepa.
Okay. So Alan.
No questions. Yeah.
Okay. So apart from these certifications, do you guys have any other questions in general that you want to talk to me?
I have a question, Pradeepa. Thank you very much for your time again. Really appreciate this. As I mentioned yesterday, I just completed a boot camp, and the advice I got from you was to get my hands on the CCBA. So, but I wanted to get in the field. Is it possible to get a job without the certification?
Yeah, totally. That's what I've told you, right? It's not at all mandatory. These are just additional.
Okay.
So if you think that I don't want to do now, or I don't have the time, or I don't have the money, it's totally fine. So please focus on all the skills that I talked, right? About like developing your own skill set level.
Okay.
So about like core BA skills, gathering requirements. So I have done another video also today. Give me a second. I was just explaining to So I have created a study planner on how to become a business analyst in 30 days. So if you see, right, I have given like every day what you're going to do. So
Okay.
day one, from day 1 to day 7, please study all this elicitation techniques. Okay, brainstorming, focus group, interview, workshop, SWOT analysis. So this is like a study planner. Okay, so from day 1 to 7, you focus on these topics every day, 2 hours.
Okay.
Okay, so again, then from day 8 till day 10, you focus on documentation. And then from day 12 till day 14, you focus on all the diagrams. Okay, you have to learn about how to draw diagrams. And then like from day 15 to day 20, you're going to learn all the agile topics.
Yeah.
Okay, and then from day 21 till like 24, you're going to learn all the domain specific topics. So these are very like different kind of domains, right? Healthcare, banking, airlines, compliance, e-commerce, whatever you want to get into. Please learn about those topics. And then day 25 and 26, you learn about basics of testing, how to write test plan, test scenarios. And then day 27, you're going to learn about how to complete deployment process, what are the different ways of submitting deployment tickets and all that. And then from day 28 till 30, it's about SQL basics. Okay, so have this, like if you're doing self study, right, it's very difficult because nobody is guiding you and you're doing it on your own, and there are multiple resources and you don't know what to do. That's why I've created this planner for you.
Okay.
Okay,
Where will I find this? Where will I find this? Do you have it attached on your channel?
so I'm going to upload it today.
Okay, awesome. Thank you
I've
very
done a video just like 30 minutes back. I did this session, so I'll
Okay.
edit it and I'll upload it by today or by tomorrow. I have to edit. Okay, so once
Right.
after editing, I will be able to upload it. So where there I've detailedly told like for every day how do you need to focus on these topics, and I'll give links also for each topic where to get resources for each topic.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Yeah,
your help.
because if that's what I told, right? You have to focus on these are the core BA skills.
Yes.
Okay, so if you can finish this within 30 days or 40 days or 50 days, whatever time it takes for you to finish this, if you're able to finish this and if you're able to upgrade your skill set, then the certifications are not a thing. That's not at all mandatory.
Right. Okay.
Okay, certifications are for people who have money. It's not, I told you know, everything is
Right.
very, very
That's
expensive.
true. Yes. Okay, great. Good to know. Thank you very much for your help. Appreciate it.
Yes. Anybody else have any other doubts? Okay, sounds good. So what I'll do is I have done this video. I will try to edit this and upload by today. And this other certification video also will be uploaded. So I think we are good. I hope this session was helpful. What do you think? What do you guys think about these sessions, free sessions? Do you like it? Do you want me to continue? Sometimes I think whether people like it or not.
Me personally,
No,
I love
Pradipam,
it.
you are amazing. Because I
Yes.
have been there with you for a longer time.
Yes, Banu, how are you?
Yeah, good, good. Recently, I got my work authorization. As you said, I'm still working on my skills. It's very hard to get into job as an entry level because people are suggesting me to put some 5 to 6 years of experience, but still I'm in little bit panic of putting like that. So I
You're
want
still
to.
in where are you? I mean, you're still in the same location, right?
Yes, I'm staying in Colorado only.
Colorado. Okay,
Mm.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, like that's what I in US, right? So it's holidays are going to come, election is going to come, and so for the next 3 months, it's very tough. If you get something, just join.
Sure, sure. Okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
mean, like don't even wait for the right job. I would say if you have work permit, whatever it is, please join, save money, and then because for the next 3 months, the market is going to be very dull.
Oh, okay, got it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the
Sure, sure.
elections is coming, right? November, the elections are there, and from next month, people, it's going to. I mean, budget freeze will happen, so not
No,
every
okay, okay.
company will be
No,
having it.
actually, it's been a week. I started in one of the Montessori school. It's like nowhere related. what I studied, what I took the training, and what I'm doing now. But still, I thought that market is not that great. I want to start at least to get some exposure with the outside world.
Yeah.
So,
You want to get into Walmart? Please join Walmart. I'll be like that. Okay. Don't even wait for a day. Okay. Because you got a work permit and you know, like how difficult it is to get a work permit, right? In the US.
yes.
After
True.
so much long, after wait
It's been
times,
like 1 year I have been waiting for my work permit. Uh,
yeah.
so
So don't even wait. Don't think this is the right job or this is what I have to do. Get that exposure. Okay. So
okay,
just
sure,
go
sure.
save money. And then as I told you, like for next 3 months, the market is very dull. So don't
Okay.
expect any calls from consultancy and all. So
Sure,
after the
sure.
holidays, from January only, they're going to allocate budget. Every company will be having their budget allocated. From January only, you will be getting calls.
Okay, fine, got it. Yeah. Actually, I thought of reaching you over email to get some more inputs from you. Right?
Yeah.
And actually, I'm eagerly waiting for one of your video. I think you were like about to post or conduct a session regarding how to crack the business in analyst interview tips and tricks.
That's for September 23rd and 24th.
Yeah. So more 1 week actually. Even I'm waiting for that video because I would like to know the inputs, like how I need to answer when an interviewer asks for the in a real time scenarios. I want to gain that knowledge as well from you. So I'm eagerly waiting.
Everybody knows Banu. Every interviewer know you are faking something in the resume. No resume is perfect. Okay, you cannot tell that everything in this resume. I know everything in this resume. Okay, nobody can tell that. But one thing you have to understand that how much faking you're going to do with confidence. Okay, I can add 3 years, I can add 4 years, I can even add 10 years. But you should be able to crack with so much confidence. You see professional liars. If you take someone, if you see all the court cases and all, they will be like, I didn't do this. I didn't do this at all. And you will be convinced, and the judge also will be convinced. Okay, they look so innocent. Maybe this person might have not killed their husband or something, but after evidence-based study, you will know that person has actually killed the spouse, right? Someone. So
yes.
if you real criminals or liars, right, they will be with so much confidence they will tell the lie. But people for interview, they are not ready. They'll be like, no, I don't know VCO. I don't know how to draw diagram. I cannot lie to my interviewer. Okay, good luck then finding some other job. because what the interviewer is looking for is like that confidence.
Okay.
He's not going to come once you join, right? He's not like, okay, Pradeepa, share your screen, show me how you drawn this diagram. Nobody has time to do that level of micromanagement.
Okay, true.
Okay, once you join a project, nobody, even your manager won't even know what you're doing. Everything and how now we are going to have that remote work or hybrid model, and even in office only, actually it's not very productive. If you're working at home, at least you have to sit and be online all day. But if you're in office, you're going to grab some coffee, you're going to go for lunch, you're going to do some gossiping, and then you're
That
like,
is true.
and
That is so true.
and nobody, even that interviewer is not going to come and say that, okay, Pradeepa, do you know how to draw diagram? In interview, you told me that you know how to draw UML. Can you please show me how? Like nobody is going to ask you that.
Okay.
So what they are looking for is that confidence.
Okay.
Even you have not done it, you have to say, yes, I have done it. I know how to gather requirements. I know how to draw a diagram. So that confidence will come only if you practice. Like I've told you, right? Some day one. Every day you have to study. Okay. And I have told, this is like cycling. This is like driving. Okay. Just by seeing, you cannot learn anything. Okay. You have to practice. Brainstorming means how to, if I'm inviting some people for brainstorming, how well prepared as a BA I should go for that session. Whatever questions I'm going to ask. Once the session is over, like what will I do? How am I going to send that meeting notes? You have to do it in writing, right? Just watching videos, you will never get that knowledge.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so people will be like, I'm watching your 10-hour videos. I'm watching all the videos in YouTube. I'll be like, no, you cannot.
Yes, true.
Yeah, just by watching, you cannot upgrade your skill, right? So that's why I created this planner. Okay, you have to study every day for 2 hours, 3 hours, or if it's at least 1 hour, that's fine. It's not 30 days. At least in 60 days, you will become a BA. But somehow you have to like like convert or how will you upgrade your skill? You have to do some kind of homework every day,
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
some kind of assessment, some kind of homework. That constant learning only will make you a good BA, and you will be able to crack the interview. Just interview tips and tricks and all is like, I'm just giving you just additional information, but basically you have to do your homework.
Yeah, yes, yes, true, true.
Okay, because
Yes, yes.
mostly 95% people don't have real time experience, and they want to crack the interview. That's a scenario, right? People coming to me, like almost 100% people will be like, I don't have real life BA experience, and I want to get into a BA role. I'm from testing background, I'm from non-IT background, I'm from petroleum background. Like they are like from all kind of backgrounds.
Okay,
And
okay.
from people want to get into like IT, or they want to get into BA, right? But so you have to do some kind of preparation from your side every day. Don't watch one 10-hour video and say like, tomorrow I want to become a BA. That's not how industry is. It's a very highly paid job. You have to remember.
Yes,
Always you have to remember that BA is very, very highly paid compared to any other job in the industry. When it comes into like development, yes, I understand there are lots of coding involved. Whether you'll be able to learn coding, if you are able to learn coding, please become a developer. But if your mindset is no, I cannot learn coding. My mind is not into coding. I want to do something like semi-technical role. Then BA is the right profession for you. And compared to salary of a teacher or even a police officer, or if you take anybody, BA salary is very high.
No, Pratibha, I'm totally from non-IT background. I'm from BCom MBA background. So I don't have any knowledge
That's
into
what, no,
that.
I'm just saying, see, we can
Yeah,
all
yeah.
desire to become something.
Yes, yes.
But what is the
Okay.
real ground reality? I'm just asking. See here. When you compare, right, Montessori, you're a teacher now. So you know what's the payment, how much they're paying you per hour there.
Yes, yes.
You know that. And for BA, you know, like what is the pay rate.
Yes, yes.
So they expect you to have that skill set.
Got it.
So, okay, so you can become a cashier, you can become like a teller in the bank, you can become anything, and you can get a job. No, but why do you want to become a BA? Because it's, first of all, it is very highly paid job in the US at least, and then second one is you can have that hybrid model. You
Yes,
can work
yes.
from home, you can have that work-life balance. It's not that all 5 days you're going to the office, right? Right now, most of the companies are offering like hybrid model or work from home option. So, and it's very, very, you will really have not like developers. Developers, they have to work in weekends. They're going to have production issues. They're going to constantly like revolve around like solving those issues and all. But BA, it's not like that. It's like mostly about like 9 to 5. After 5, you can log off and then you can do your own thing. If you have kids, you're going to focus on the kids, and weekend it's going to be, you're going to have that day off, right? 2 days off and all. So that is why people want to move into BA roles or testing roles, because everybody cannot be a developer. Everybody cannot. And if in the family, like both are from IT, right? Both the husband and the wife, both are from IT. I always say that one has to be in a non-technical role.
True, Pratibha.
Otherwise, in the US, it's very difficult. You have 2 kids and you are managing everything, and always production issues. And who's going to take care of the kids?
Yeah.
And they'll be watching TV on the iPad all day, right? That's not
Yes,
what we
yes.
want. So I always say one can be in a technical role, but the other one has to be in a semi-technical role, because you have that time for your kids, for your family, for that weekend, so that you can take your kids outside. And so, and also both development also is a highly paid role, but BA is equally paid. Don't think it's something like low paid and all. And there is always a career growth as a BA, right? Because when you get a job as a BA, you'll be talking to so many different people. You'll be talking to managers, you'll be talking to program leads, you'll be talking to staff VP directors, and different line of business owners, stakeholders, and all that. So since you're interacting with different people, either if someone has their job in their team, they will let you know if they like you. Okay, they like you, right? They will call you. I've had so many people. See, I'll go gather requirements. Then that business owner will come and say that, Pradeepa, we really like the way you're gathering requirements. Can you come to our team? I had so many people ask like that. Then I'm like, no, I'm very comfortable with my team. I'm not coming to a different role. Like, for example, we have a program manager role, or we have the something like system lead advisor role in our team. Can you join our team? Multiple people will give you that kind of opportunity. If they really like you, they'll come and give that. It's all internal only, but they'll come and ask you, do you want to come to my team? But I'm like, okay, no, I'm very comfortable with my team. I don't want to make that move. I'm very comfortable with my manager, my team, my developers and testers, and I don't want to do that shift, right? I'm already all sorted out in my team. So, but you will have that exposure, that opportunity, because you're interacting with multiple people. But if you're a developer, you will interact with other people, but to the engineers only mostly. You won't be interacting with the leadership. If a developer from your team, mostly will be talking to some other developer only, actually, from other team also, or maybe the architect. They don't talk to other managers. They don't talk to scrum masters. They don't talk to like technical program managers or leads, right? Or staff VPs. They don't talk, but you will talk because you will be the one getting sign off from them. So you are having that network connection. So it's not that you join as a BA, you'll be like forever, you'll be a BA. No, there is a huge career growth. From BA, you can become senior BA, you can become advisor, you can become executive advisor. Then you can become like on program manager. If you don't want to become project manager, you can become program manager, technical program manager, technical program manager, lead, and all that. And for pay for those kind of roles are like usually like 250 or 300K for program managers. So it's not that you're going to join as a BA and you're going forever for next 20 years, you're going to be as a BA, right? So there is always a huge career growth or potential for this BA roles. So for someone who don't want to get into development, who don't want to get into coding, and you want to have a very nice job, then BA is the right thing for you. Okay. Any other doubts?
No, Pradeepa, thank you so much for your advice and the information you have provided. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else have any other doubts? If not, we can wind up the call.
Now, I have a question. So, what do you, it seems there's like a kind of overlap with BA and the product owner. Can you talk about that, please?
Yeah. So, product owner is, let me take Jira for you so that you understand what is product owner. So, product owner is a terminology that will be used only in Agile methodology. Do you know what is Agile methodology?
Yes.
Okay, so basically Jira is the application that everybody will be working on. So BAs, product owners, developers, everybody will be working on this application. So let's say like me, Banu, and you are there. We are three business analysts. What we do is we gather requirements, and all three of us, we are going to create the user stories right here.
Yes.
So we're going to create the user stories, and it's going to be in the backlog. So I'm responsible for my user stories. You are responsible for your user stories, and Banu is responsible for her user stories, right?
Right.
Whereas product owner is actually, there will be only one product owner for the whole team, for the whole Scrum team.
Okay.
There will be only like one product owner. That person will be responsible for managing all the backlog all the user story backlog for that particular project, not project, for the team itself.
For the team, okay.
But like for example, you have about 15 people in your team. She'll be managing all the user stories. So she'll be one who'll be scheduling all the sprint planning calls, sprint retrospective calls, sprint review calls, so that we can groom each user story, and then they can assign to a developer or not. And so you can have multiple BAs. Everybody will be working on their own projects. But when it comes as the team, you'll have like one Scrum Master, one product owner who will be managing this stories for all of us. You got it? They'll be the one responsible for scheduling this everyday stand-up calls, or all this sprint planning, sprint review, sprint retrospective. So you're not going to do that because you're one of the member, right, in the team. That's all.
Right. Yeah, because I've seen like job description looking for a BA/Scrum Master. So I didn't think it's supposed to be a role modeled together.
So what their expectation is, like, they don't want to hire someone as Scrum Master. They want you
Right.
to gather requirements and manage the backlog.
Right.
Yeah, you can say, yes, I know how to manage.
Yeah.
It's completely non-technical role.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you know about user stories and
Yes.
how to make sure what are the user stories are going to be in ready status, what is acceptance criteria, what is story points, how to
Yes.
make a story as ready, and how to assign user stories, how to prioritize if there are like thousands of user stories, how to prioritize user stories as a product owner. That will be your interview question.
Right. Okay.
So you're going to use some of the techniques like Moscow techniques, some of the techniques to prioritize it.
Yeah. Must have, should have, could have.
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
So must have means those are essential stories.
Yes.
That needs to be there in the upcoming sprint. So like this, you will be like prioritizing your user story. If you get those kind of role, just say, I will do it. Yes, I can do it.
Okay.
Don't have any hesitation because it's completely non-technical.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So I think we are good. Okay, and so the next free session is on September 23rd and 24th. Those sessions are for cracking the interviews. Like I've already told you, please don't focus only on interview level. Please focus on how to become a good BA. Please follow these guidelines and start preparing. Every day you have to spend at least 2 hours, and then you please focus on all those interview tips and tricks. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Thank you.
day.